Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 19th of June for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to share some standout details that we can all collectively relate to, but please stay with me. I will go through each of the 12 zodiac signs in much greater detail. Now this week sees a transition. We have the Sun emerging from its new moon in Gemini at the end of last week, compromised by the sluggish and draining vibe of Neptune initially, but then by Wednesday we have the summer solstice and the Sun makes its way into the sign of Cancer. This is an incredibly important event in the overall astrological calendar. Western tropical astrology is based on the seasons. So this is the start of a seasonal quadrant 2, and it's an influence which basically lasts for the next 13 weeks, despite the fact the Sun only being in Cancer for 4 weeks. We also, however, have a lot of energy going on between Mercury and Venus across Monday and Tuesday, all week between Mercury and Mars, but later in the week Mars gets into a much more turbulent right angle with the disruptive energies of Uranus. So what will this mean for your zodiac sign? Please stay with me for more. If you are a new visitor, thank you for joining me. I've been doing these weekly videos for about 13 years and it does take a lot of prep, so I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. If you're a returning visitor, thank you for joining me once more. If you'd like to get your free weekly horoscope fired to your device, please see the subscription link beneath this video. Also, if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and embrace the power of more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can provide for you your life roadmap report. This will help you to gain much more intimate understandings of the patterns that have played out in your life so far. But in my package of 30% off, you can also get your 12-month personal forecast, totally unique to you. Don't know your time? You can buy my solar package with the same benefits. Again, please see the link below. So Virgo, your week commencing the 19th of June forecast suggests there's been a lot of activity of late based on what you do for a living, how your talents are viewed, when it comes to your own creative activities, how much recognition you may be drawing to you. You may have had to connect to some important people of late, but Neptune applied to the new moon in that area last week, and that's in your sector of relating. Neptune's a magical influence, but also a mystical but sometimes confusing influence. If you do need to do a presentation, have an interview, talk to anyone in a position of influence this week, it's vital that you use one of your key skills of clarity to present whatever information needs to be shared in as clear and straightforward as way as possible, because Neptune can be very distorting but very subtly. But also Mercury is forging a great link to both Venus and Mars, which are in your 12th house, and that suggests that if you're thinking about a change of job, you may want to keep what you're trying to do very close to your chest. So if you're talking to any prospective employers, I would really ask them to keep your confidence. So you could make progress behind the scenes or doing some research that is not necessarily obvious to other people. But there is a link later in this week between Mars and Uranus, which is going to test us all. Now, Uranus is in the part of your horoscope which is seeing you much more mindful of freedom. And Mars is in the 12th house, which can activate and trigger past injustices or hurts that we may have felt we had dealt with, but then something could be said and Uranus's angle to Mars can suddenly see something really being very frustrating, and you may have a sense that you need to let that energy out. So if you do find yourself feeling that your emotions are closer to the surface later this week, it wouldn't be a surprise. But on Wednesday, the Sun returns to Cancer after an 11-month gap. But this is really exciting because for you, this is the part of your situation to do with where you can collaborate, where you can have fun, mix and mingle, network and get together with your friends. But it's also the part of your situation to do with your longer term future. So although there's been a lot of energy in the hidden part of your scope, house 12, Venus and Mars, and the most obvious part of your scope, house 10, now it's going to get friendlier from Wednesday, but I still think that Mars-Uranus right angle could see something come into the open that's been simmering on the black back boiler for some time.